So this video is mainly for the people who subscribe to my channel already and watch most of what I upload. I may start steering the direction of this channel a little bit differently. I just want to give you a heads up on what's going on. So if you've never spent any time ingesting content about what the gurus say on how to grow a YouTube channel, it generally boils down to be the same thing every time. You find a niche, you make helpful content within that niche, and you check your analytics and you just refine that niche over and over and over until you get your 100,000 subscriber big plaque from YouTube. Easy, right? Yeah. So when I decided I wanted to see if I could take a YouTube channel and get it up above the 1,000 subscriber and 4,000 watch hour threshold that YouTube put in place to make a channel monetized, I just rolled with film photography as a niche because at the point I'd been doing it for like 20 years, so it seemed like a good choice. So I just started off by doing useful videos about gear I already owned because I knew that that would be searchable content that people could find and that would get the whole ball rolling. And it worked. People found the videos and slowly but slowly subscribers accumulated, and in January 2021 I was able to monetize this channel. However, I kind of reached this point where I'm a little bit mixed about where I actually sit within this niche. So shitty Venn diagram time. Let's start with everyone in the English-speaking world as a potential audience. Within that circle, we have a certain group of people into film photography that represents like the max potential growth as a film photography channel. But also way back when I started this channel, I knew if I was going to survive the channel, I'd have to let the weird absurdist humor part of my brain leak into these videos. So let's add the people who understand my humor onto the Venn diagram as well. And after a few years of feeling more and more comfortable with adding humor into the videos, I feel that the content I've been making kind of fits mainly around this intersection between the people who like the funnies and the people who are into the film photography. So it seems like I'm playing within a very small sub-niche within an already kind of small niche, which I imagine at some point is gonna kind of start feeling a bit constricting to come up with jokes to make about it. And this is something I want to change. So if I look back at all the content I've made within the film photography genre, I can kind of break it out into three broad categories. Category A is film photography content for film photographers that's intended to be helpful. B is commentary, satire, humor type videos regarding the film photography. Category C are the adventure videos, the photo hikes, and the finding the film in the old cameras. Basically, any video where I start shooting it without knowing the outcome. We just roll with it and have an adventure. Fun! If I go and segment the analytics of all the content I made in these three categories, it is clear that category A, the helpful film photography videos, are the ones that provide the most growth. And everything these grow your channel channels say is that this is where I should lean my content into to just accelerate the growth as fast as possible by delivering more of the content that people watch and like. But I imagine a future where I do this and it works, and I don't like it. What if I lean into this and start making the broadest content for the most amount of film photographers, and I hit a point where I've like sucked every last juice of search engine optimization out of the gear I own, and this kicks off a buying and selling cycle of trying everything I can get my hands on so that I can just keep sucking more of the search engine optimization out of it and growing this empire of search results on camera keywords. And then I gotta start paying attention to like industry news, and it's like, Ilford has a brand new black and white film, let's try it. And if you're scared to do black and white film at home, here's my 8-part series on how to do it at home. It doesn't make it frightening at all. And I don't, no. So the last thing I want to be is like some supposed guru that everyone is gonna like start emailing to be like a customer support line for all this gear that I've only used for a week to crank out a video, and they think I know everything and don't know how to find the manual, and it just, it doesn't sound like fun. So I think going forward, the helpful for film photographer videos are gonna cease to exist. The other two categories are fine. See, whenever I've made those kind of videos, I've always made them with the notion in my mind that they're not just for people into film photography, and I'd always try to frame them in a way that is inviting or is understandable as possible for a general audience who isn't, neck deep into this hobby as we are. And feedback I've received from people in person who aren't into film photography this generally appears to be working. Like, they understand what's going on and they have a good time watching these entertaining videos. But what this has caused is that every time I try to make new content, there's like this schism. In one mind, if I'm making something specifically for the film photographers, I'm like, are all the people who like this more general stuff gonna be not into this and like leave? And then on the other hand, if I make stuff more for the humor general audience, I'm always like, are all the straight-faced, no-fun film photographers who might be subscribed to me gonna leave? So my plan right here is to just break this apart and fix this division while the channel is still small enough that it's not gonna alienate 100,000 people. So the adventure style videos and the humor videos are what I'm gonna keep focusing on. However, as to not limit myself to that very tiny sliver of the Venn diagram, I'm going to be more frequent on making content within these categories of videos, but on topics that have nothing to do with film photography. So I think that trying to focus this absurdist, weird sense of humor I have only into film photography videos is kind of a squandering of its potential. Like, anything out there I could probably apply this attitude towards and make a funny, entertaining video. Which is already kind of proven. Like, remember a couple of years ago when I found that cast iron pan at the thrift store, made a video about it? In 2021 alone, that video is like my third or fourth most viewed video and like second for new subscribers. So yeah, I don't need to reserve this for film photography. I totally understand that, at least according to all the gurus, that going towards a broader entertainment feel like this is not gonna be niche enough to give me rocket growth, but I'm okay with that. Like, if I had to sit here and put on a fake face to talk about camera stuff after, years down the road and I'm sick of film photography, it's not gonna last. But I've been this kind of weird MFer towards everything my entire life, so I know that this is not gonna go away. I mean, there's probably a good reason why I've always stuck to just using my real hard-to-search name instead of some niche-forward moniker like the Negative Developing Daddy or something. But don't you worry if you're here for the funny film photography content. That'll still survive every now and then. I do have a bunch of it yet on my ideas board, and I'm a firm believer that the best satire comes from people within the thing being satired who can do it from a point of love instead of like outside as a point of mockery. So there should still be some good photo humor shops in the future, so don't panic. Just don't panic. So I think that's it. The content might be changing from film photography with an occasional weird humor video to more not occasional weird humor video that oftentimes is still about film photography. Does that make sense? I sure hope so, and I hope everything is still as entertaining as possible for you and that you stick around. And just remember, it's probably gonna get weirder at points. So, let's not have a need to have one of these chats again until I get to 100,000 subscribers, right? Sounds good? Well, in the meantime, check out this old video that you may have missed, which is more in line of what I'm thinking I'm gonna be producing in the future. Thumbs up. Guns.